Good day, everybody. Dr. Sean here with the Arthritis Movement. Today we're going to talk about the importance of low impact exercise to protect your joints from the repetitive impact that's associated with some activities, also allow you to exercise longer, and also allow you to exercise more consistently on a day over day basis. Reducing the impact is key to making sure that you are not injuring yourself, make sure you're prepared for the next level of activity, and making sure that you can exercise on a daily basis. So from a progression perspective, the least impact we can have is exercises without gravity. So for example, laying on your back with your feet up in the air, doing some bending and moving of the knee joint is a zero impact type of exercise. It can be repetitive in nature. You're not loading and pounding on that joint. Next level of impact would be exercises in a pool. The air in our lungs and also the tissues in our body create some buoyancy, which reduces the impact of gravity as we walk and as we move in the water by probably about 50%, maybe more, depending on the activity. So you can increase your physical output while reducing your impact by exercising in the water, walking in the water, running in the water, standing in the water, and moving your arms around. All excellent activities. If you have access to a pool, I promise you it is worth every bit of effort to get there and get wet and move and create functional movement with reduced impact. Be careful with hydrotherapy. When you do get into the water, there is that feeling of freedom of movement. Do not overdo it in your first couple of attempts. This is the same for any exercise that you're incorporating. Make sure the first couple of times that it's shorter than you think, 5, 10, 15 minutes max with some movement, then get out, see how your body responds before you attack it again the next day. Sometimes we get moving and the aches and pains go away. We start patting ourselves on the back for getting the activity. We stay a little bit too long and then we pay for it the next day and are unable to exercise. So when you're initiating a change in your activity, make sure that it is slow, gentle. You want to make sure it is more important that you can repeat that exercise the next day or even 2 days later than it is to stay 10 minutes longer on that one given day. Because if we exercise beyond our capacity and we have to take the next 2 or 3 days off, we're not doing ourselves any good. We call it the all pain, no gain approach. So keep it gentle, keep it short. Test the waters. For example, if you're moving from, say, the pool and you want to increase your walking, start with 5 minutes. If you still feel good a few hours later, do another 5 minutes. If that feels good after 2 or 3 days, increase to 10 minutes. But just make sure you're also knocking down any tightness or any discomfort in between with your stretching and icing routine. So taking it up from a hydrotherapy or a pool therapy or an aquafit type situation, the next level of impact would be walking. Walking is very gentle. Our bodies are hardwired to do it. It's one of the most natural things we can do is walk. We have to try to walk as normal as we can. Again, starting short. There's no negative from a couple of 5-minute walks happening throughout the day as opposed to one 15-minute walk and then not being able to walk the next day. Another example of a good low impact exercise would be bicycling. So riding an exercise bicycle or a bicycle outdoors. Not a lot of impact, repetitive rhythmic movements of the hips, knees, and ankles. Very, very good and healthy for the joint to move without the pounding that's associated with walking and definitely with running. If you have access to an exercise bike or a bicycle, then get out and move and do that as well. Progressing from, say, bicycling to walking, again, your body might tolerate a half an hour on the bicycle and then it's time to maybe go for that walk. Make sure it's a slow and a short one, followed by some stretching, followed by some icing. Anytime you take it up to the next level of impact, you have to make sure you are addressing the potential of what tomorrow could feel like. We talked about this in a previous video about being one step ahead of the game. What we want to build is a variety of exercises that we are able to do on a daily basis, depending on our schedule and depending on our access to facilities. So make sure that you're careful, recognizing which exercises are a little harder on the body. Make sure they don't happen on back-to-back days. and then just sort of schedule and structure your routine accordingly. If you want to run, but keep it short. See how it feels. And it doesn't have to be running like a 15-year-old. If you are walking and you get, my advice typically is if you can walk for 20 to 30 minutes, then, and not have a negative impact the next day, then you can maybe dabble with some running. But if you can't walk for 20 minutes without feeling pain the next day, there is no need to push it until you get to that point. So either take better care of yourself after your 20-minute walk so that you wake up feeling better. Start trying to get maybe back-to-back days in there before you incorporate. And if you introduce the higher impact, which would be the running or the jog or the light trot, however you want to do it, you start with 30 seconds to a minute, followed by 2 to 3 minutes of walking. Make sure your body has time to calm down and react and see how it felt before you introduce it again. And then a good rule of thumb is if I can exercise at a certain level for 3 times in that 1 week without aggravating symptoms, without increasing pain, then I can increase my load. So if I was going to try to progress from a 1-minute walk or 1-minute run with a 2-minute walk up to a 2-minute run and a 2-minute walk, I would want to make sure that I did that 20 to 30 minutes of 1 on, 2 off, at least 3 times in the same week, and that my back, hips, knees, and ankles are all feeling fine with that before I push it to the next level. You have to give your body some time to adapt and recover, increase its strength, and then slowly progress from there. Hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, make sure you keep sending them through to us and we will identify them as we go. Have a great day.